Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fat Loss as We Age. We're doing the encore presentation today. So I'm so glad to see so many of you on today. For the last week, we're doing a series on fat loss as we age, and we decided to throw in this encore one today. So I'm so glad we caught you and you could be on. It's going to be a really great session today. A few things I want you to have nearby. Hopefully you got the worksheet. If you did and you printed out, that is fabulous. We're going to be filling it in as we go. It's your guide to what's most important on this workshop. If you don't have the worksheet, don't worry about it. At this point, just grab a piece of paper or a notebook and a pen or a pencil just so you can take notes. I do believe that we learn best when we're listening, when we're also communicating, meaning participating in the chat and writing things down. Concepts tend to stick with us best. So that's why I think it's important. So this is your guide. Hopefully you've got that or a notebook. We're going to be talking about fat loss as we age today. And I'm going to be going over 3 very specific concepts that when you apply these, they can change everything for you. Now, when I teach this, I'm directing it mostly towards those of you in your 40s, 50s, and beyond. But if you're on and you're out of that range, you're still going to benefit from this. The reason I speak into that is my expertise. That's the age I am. I'm 50. And that tends to be who I attract and coach and work with. So that's why this messaging applies mostly to that group here. A couple quick tech announcements. And while I'm doing this, if you wouldn't mind, in the chat box, we have a smaller group today. In the chat box, just let me know your name, where you're chiming in from, and your age. I'd love to know your age. And I'll start Natalie Jill, 50 years old, San Diego, California, even though you can't tell today because it's completely raining outside. But write that as I go over a few tech announcements so I can see who we're chatting with this morning. The few tech things is one, we are on Zoom here. So because of technology, because of the weather, you never know. Something could happen and we could lose connection. If that happens, just jump right back on and we will keep going, okay? About halfway through this masterclass, I'm going to stop letting new people in. So for some reason you get bumped out, something happens and you try to get back in and you're not being allowed in, just let us know in the waiting room that you were on before and you had gotten bumped out so we can make sure to let you in. The chat box here is going to be monitored by my team. I've got 3 coaches from my team on, and you know that they are coached because it says Team Thrive next to their name. They're going to be monitoring the chat. I will, at a very specific time, take questions and do Q&A. And at that point, I'm going to invite you to raise your hand like this, or use the cartoon hand, or write in the chat box. And I might bring a few of you on to get live real-time coaching around topics. Okay. But the chat section is really for you to engage with us so we know, and to definitely raise your hand as you need help, or if you're not understanding something I'm teaching or you have a question. All right, so the way that this is going to work today is I'm going to be teaching you 3 concepts about fat loss as we age. And I'm going to teach you these concepts first, and we're going to go deep on them. And then after I do that, I'm going to invite you to an opportunity about Total Body Thrive. I know many of you are on because you are considering Thrive. Not everyone is a candidate for Thrive. Some of you are. It starts Monday. I'm going to share what that is and answer questions about that. After that, I'm going to take all questions and answers on anything and everything related to what we're talking about today, related to your own personal nutrition or weight loss questions about pain. Any questions you have, I'll stay on as long as needed and give you coaching for all of that. So you want to make sure you stay on. Okay. All right. So let's get started. And I see a lot of you on, by the way, in your 40s and 50s. So I love that. That's amazing. I wanted to start this with, if it was easy to lose weight and get healthy and have that focus and energy, we'd all have it. We know that. And we've all heard the advice a million times: eat less and move more. I mean, has anyone not heard that advice? We've all heard that advice. And the bottom line is, if that worked, we wouldn't have to be on this session. If it was that easy, there would not be an issue. But the problem is that is not that easy. And that advice does not work long lasting for anybody. It's not easy to do that. And today, I'm certain that you're in the right place. And I'll tell you why. One, because I've helped 250,000 people break through this. 250,000. I see Jay on here, mostly women I've helped, but I've definitely helped some men too. And you are in the right place here, because not only have I navigated this in my life, but I've helped so many people do this. So the method I'm going to give you today, if you're willing to take it on, can really change things for you. Now, I know that sounds like a lot of hype, but I've been doing this for a long time, helping people achieve goals. And I've got a ton of results that I'm going to share with you. This method works if you have an open mind and you are ready for it. So my first question for you is, are you open-minded today? Like, really think about that question. And if you are, please write in the comments, yes, I'm open-minded, or just yes, because I want to know that you're open-minded, because some of the stuff I'm going to share with you today, when you first hear it, you might roll your eyes or go, well, that's really basic, or why? That's what I'm on this class for this morning. And yes, because these are things that we tend to skip. And I know that the breakthrough for you today is very possible if and when you have an open mind and you really hear what I'm going to share and teach you today. You're going to walk away with a big gift if you have an open mind. And I love it. So many of you saying, yes, you have an open mind. So that's fantastic. Okay. So why am I doing this masterclass? I'm going to tell you that first. A couple of reasons. One, there's a lot of misinformation out there, a ton of it. I see it all the time, especially on social media, a lot of marketing hype. And I don't like that. I don't like that people think they have to give up entire food groups. I don't like that people think they have to count calories. I don't like that people think they have to starve themselves or beat themselves up at the gym or buy a wrap or whatever it is. It's just not true. That is not what works for lasting fat loss. So one reason I'm doing this today is it's my gift for the new year to break people free of this and share what is the absolute simple truth. Why else am I doing this today? And why am I doing it for free? Well, I tell my coaching clients, my business coaching clients, you shouldn't do things for free. And I say that because when people don't pay, they don't pay attention. And you know that to be true. Think about when you've paid for something, you truly pay attention. And when something's free, you kind of half-ass it. We know that. And I'm going to invite you today to really think about that, because you still are investing your time right now. And just because something's free doesn't mean you can't get good information from it. I want you to take that on. But the reason I'm doing this for free, and I'm going to just be really transparent, is I do start Total Body Thrive on Monday. And I do realize that is a time and financial investment for a lot of you. It definitely is. And I want you to be able to try on a taste of my method and my coaching first. So many times when I market my programs or I share, hey, we've got this open, people automatically say, do you have a sampling of it? Can I try it? And so this is the way to try it right now. What I'm teaching you today is a very small portion of what's in Total Body Thrive. And I think it's important for you to see it, because this lets you know, do you actually like my coaching style? Would this change things for you? And this helps us decide together if we're a good match to work together. The third reason I'm showing you this is I want you to know that failure is not an option. And I want to share that with you loudly on a class today versus just in a meme on a social media post, because many of you just see me posting these little quick blurbs, but you haven't really got to spend time with me. And I want you to know right now that all of you here are here because you have a goal and you have hope in something. And I want you to know that failure is not and does not have to be an option for you this year. You absolutely can have transformation no matter what your situation is, no matter what your age, no matter what your injury, no matter what the pain is you're dealing with, no matter what your situation, and I call them false assumed truths. I'll get to that in a few minutes. No matter what that is, you this year right now can absolutely have success. And that's why I wanted to do this with you today. Okay, so I can help a lot of you today. Most of you said you have an open mind, so I'm excited about that. So for those of you that just joined late, the way that it's going to work real quick is I'm going to go through 3 concepts, really strong concepts. They might sound basic initially. Write them down, take notes, fill out the worksheet. After that, I'm going to share the opportunity about Thrive, and then I'm going to come back to questions. We ready to get started on the first one? All right. Okay. Number 1, when people approach a new plan for nutrition, for workout, for losing weight, for hitting their goals, most people jump into action first. We start doing things. We start eating stricter. We start beating ourselves at the gym. We start doing more. That's what most of us do when we start something. That is not where I want people to start. The number 1 first step, the first step in transformation, the first concept I want to teach you is to make a decision. What does that mean? What does a decision mean? A decision is making a definitive declaration, something that you are going to have happen for you, what you are actually deciding. You see, when most people are ready to lose weight, Most people say things like, I've tried everything before, or nothing ever works for me, or I guess I'll try something, or maybe I'll have better luck. Maybe this will work for me. How many of us are guilty of that? Okay, that's not a decision. That's not a decision. When you think of your life, anything that's ever happened, worked out in your favor in your life, you made a decision first. Everything. You made a decision to be on this session today. You made a decision to go to bed at the time you did last night. You made a decision to go on a first date with whoever your spouse is right now. You made a decision to own the car that you have. You made a decision to take the job you have. You made a decision to start the business you have. Everything in life revolves around decisions. You made a decision to have breakfast or not have breakfast this morning. Decisions are powerful. We don't typically go about life just going, we'll just see what happens. Like we don't get in our car and go, I don't know where I'm going to go. We don't do that. We decide first. But somehow we're missing the boat when it comes to our bodies and our health journey. We haven't actually decided. And a deciding variable, a decision that turns into a declaration is super powerful, and it leads the way, and it has to go first. So deciding is a definitive declaration on what's going to happen for you. Some examples are things like this. I've decided this is the year I'm releasing the weight. I've decided this is the year I'm not going to be in pain anymore. I've decided this is the year I'm getting in the best shape of my life. I've decided this is the year I'm dropping the excuses. I've decided I'm releasing 20 pounds this year. I've decided I'm going to tone my body this year. I've decided I'm going to develop my glutes so I don't have back pain. I've decided that I am going to change my focus and my energy with my eating this year. That's a decision. That's a decision. And I just want to show you a few examples here of this, how this applies to you in real life. So for instance, this was Terry when I met her. Okay, everyone see Terry? And I print them out so I don't have to distract with screen share. So I'm old school like that. So this is Terry. And when I met Terry, she said, everything is working for me in my life, but my weight. She's happy in a lot of areas of her life. Okay. Terry, like many of you, had tried everything, all those things that are not decisions. I've tried, I've thought about, I've waited, I've tried on. And she had all the reasons things weren't working for her. So she wanted to do my Total Body Thrive method, what I teach now. And I had to ask Terry, have you actually decided? And it was very hard initially to get into that mind frame of decision versus I'm stuck in my circumstances, right? Or what my past is. So we had to get her to a point of deciding. So when I asked her, what is she deciding? She was very definitive in, I've decided this is the year I'm releasing the weight. I've decided this is the year I'm releasing the weight. And I just want to show you how that ended up. Now, and I'm not suggesting that she literally just decided and then that's what happened. That's not, because there's a whole bunch of action steps there. However, the decision had to come first. She would not have gotten here had she not decided right here. So I'm going to ask you if you've decided in just a moment. I just want you to think about that for a second. I'm going to show you because I know I've got some guys on. Jay, don't think I don't have your picture here too. I'm going to show that later because I see you there. I want to show Jim first. So this is Jim Walters. Love Jim. He was one of the first people ever to do my method. Okay. And, you know, I specialized with women and Jim still said, I want to learn from you. And Jim said to me, I have a million reasons why nothing works for me. My genetics, my doctor's report, my whatever, everything. I'm in pain. I've got high blood pressure, all the things. Okay. And if you looked at Jim genetically, we would all agree like, okay, yeah, Jim, middle-aged man, overweight, genetically, this is just not, things are not working out for him. But he had tried every diet plan out there. So he said, and every workout. And he kept saying, I've tried everything. I've tried everything. I've tried everything. I said, Jim, I can give you another meal plan. I can give you another workout plan, all those things, but we got to work on the mindset stuff first. Now, most of us, we hear mindset and we're like, shut down, right? We're like, I have a good mindset, but I simplify mindset for people. And I said, I'm not going to ask you just in a woo-woo way, like, let's change your mindset. I'm going to give you some very specific tasks. Like number one, what are you deciding? And Jim said to me, I'm deciding I'm going to get like super fit, like not just kind of fit. I'm deciding I'm getting really fit this year. I'm going to like put young guys to shame. Okay. This is what he told me. Let me just tell you something. Let me show you something. Look at Jim. Look at him now. This started with a decision. When he was here, he had to decide first what I just shared with you. He was going to put young guys to shame. He was going to get super fit. That was his decision. Jim, if you ask him now, If you ask him now, what changed? He'll tell you about my program and he'll tell you what he did with me, but he's going to tell you, I decided. I made a decision. I decided. Deciding always comes first. That is the first step. I want you to write in the comments here if you've actually decided, and take it a step further. What are you deciding? Decide what? And stop your brain from telling me what you're going to try. Okay? Just type it. I've decided. What have you decided? Yes, I see some of you writing. This is awesome. Yes, I decided to feel better about myself. This is great. Yeah, be very definitive in your decision. And if you're not in a place right now to make a decision or write it here, I want you to think about this throughout the day and declare it to people. And some of you are writing like just the second half of it. It's really important to say, I've decided, own it. You got to take it on yourself. So like Jennifer just said, stronger and more defined, which is awesome. But Jennifer, I've decided I'm getting stronger and my most defined self this year. Just like Angie, awesome. I decided to be healthy. All of this is great. I've decided. It's really important to own your decision. I've decided. I've decided. I've decided. And we take a decision a step further by declaring it. Those that have been following me for a long time or have known me, you have heard me talk about Oprah because I'm obsessed with Oprah. I love her. I will meet her one day. I've decided that. I was listening to an audio replay from Oprah not too long ago, and she had an episode on about toddlers wanting to sleep in their parents' bed. And the parents were asking all kinds of questions like, I don't know what to do. I heard my toddler shouldn't sleep in bed with me, but I just can't get them out of the bed. And it's just really challenging. And I've tried all these ideas and nothing's working. And what do I do? How do I get the toddler to not sleep in my bed? And you know what the doctor said? This is really cool. I loved this. The doctor said to the mom, he looked her straight in the eye and he said, you know what? Your toddler will stop sleeping in your bed when you decide that the toddler is not sleeping in your bed anymore. Wow. It's true. Those of you with kids know that we decide. So we have to decide with our goals, every part of our life. We're doing it anyway in other areas, but you've decided what, and make that decision. When you decided something, nothing should get in your way, and it won't get in your way when you've actually firmly decided. Rita, I love it. I've decided this year I'm getting in the best shape of my life to be pain-free and release the excess weight. I've decided I'm going into 50 stronger and more fit than 30. Rita, that's a declaration and a decision. I love that, Rita. Screenshot that, Rita. That should be like your phone saver. That should be your sticky note. You've decided it, and that is powerful, and that's how it happens. That's exactly how it happens. So I love that. Great job. Great job. Great job. Yes, Denise, I love that. I've decided to feel good about wearing a two-piece while enjoying boating this summer. That's a great decision. I love that, Denise. You're going to love the person I share next and the concept. Okay, so that's concept one, you all. Deciding comes first. Decision comes first. That is number one, the first step that has to happen. If you follow people or you hear somebody talk about my methods or they worked with me, and you might, like, if you've never met me before and you're like, oh, I'm thinking of doing Natalie's program or whatever it is, and someone has done my program, they'll tell you, you'll think I'm just a fat loss coach. You'll go, she's a fitness and fat loss expert. And the person will tell you, Natalie's a mindset coach. And that happens with every client that works with me, because yes, I teach nutrition. Yes, I teach workouts. I can teach that stuff in my sleep, but the real change happens with these things first. Okay, so concept number two, are we ready? All right, concept number two is vision. Remember at the beginning, you said open mind, okay? Vision is knowing where you want to go and being super clear on what that is before you start doing the work to get there. Knowing where you want to go before you start doing the work so that you can get there. So vision is operating out of possibility, not problem. Vision is operating in your potential, your future version of yourself, not your current reality or your current situation. Vision is being crystal clear on that forward version of you. Possibility, not problem. Potential, not circumstance. That's what vision is. So when we get in our car, for instance, we don't just get in our car and just go, I wonder where it's going to take me today. I mean, some of you might, but that's probably rare. We don't just get in the car and go, I wonder where it take me. If we did that and we just turned on the car and started driving, like where would we end up? Who knows? Down the street, 10 miles away, an hour away, up a mountain, at the beach, who knows? We wouldn't do that. Instead, we get in our car and we're very clear on where we're going. I'm going to the drugstore. I'm going to the beach. I'm going to the gym. I'm going to buy groceries. You know where you're going, and that's why you end up there. But somehow in life, we start operating away from vision. We're operating in our current circumstance, not the possibility and the place that we're headed. So when we can change that and start focusing on where we're actually headed and then work backwards from that, so we know where we're headed and we're going to start taking actions in that direction, that's going to change things a lot quicker than just jumping into action, not knowing where you're going to end up. Okay, let me give you some real examples here. This is Nicole when I met her. Denise, remember I said you're going to relate to something that I just said? So this is cool. You won't relate to all of it, but you're going to relate to her vision here. So this is Nicole. And when I met her, everything in Nicole's life was working except her weight. She was successful in a lot of areas. She had a lot of friends. Things were good in Nicole's life. Everything was good except her weight. And she told me, I'm really tired of people saying I'm the pretty girl that is overweight. That's what she hated being known as that. She didn't want that anymore. And she was worried about her health. She's like, I was carrying a lot of extra weight around, and it's just not good for my health. And when we're carrying that weight around, not only is it not good for our health, we start losing our confidence. We start getting self-conscious. We're not showing up the way we need to in business, at functions, with friends. We kind of are in hiding. And we go into this self-loathing place, and she didn't want to be there anymore. And I get it. And I asked Nicole, what do you want? And she, like many of you, told me all the things she didn't want. I don't want X, Y, and Z. Okay. What have you done about it? What are you doing about it? And she proceeded to tell me all the things she had tried, a million things she had tried and weren't working. And I asked her, Nicole, have you decided? Yes, I've decided this is the year I'm going to lose the weight. This is the year I'm going to get in the best shape of my life. This is the year it's all going to happen for me. So she decided that. When I asked her where she was headed and what her vision was, she started with what a lot of you might start with, which I don't want you to start with. She started with, I just want to be happy. Okay, that's not a vision. Saying I want to be happy is not a vision. Being happy is actually an action, and I'll talk about that in a few moments. But I had to get her really clear on her vision. So I asked her the question I asked all of you. What are you deciding? Where do you want to go and why? What's your vision? What do you want to be? So she described, I want to be super confident. I want to feel fit. I want to be healthy. I want to release this weight for good. I don't want to lose it. I want to release it. Losing means you implying you're going to find it again. She said, I want to release the weight for good. So, okay, great. What is it going to look like when you get there? Because that's vision, working in possibility. And this was challenging for Nicole because she had a million reasons why she didn't think she could get to her vision. But I asked her to describe it. She said, I would be fit. I would be healthy. I would be glowing. And I had her describe what she'd be wearing. She said, I'll be wearing a red fitted dress, and I'm going to walk into rooms and people's heads are going to turn and they're going to go, wow, look at her. She's glowing. And I'm going to know I've arrived, not for other people, but because I'm going to know myself that I feel really good in my own skin. Let me just show you something. This is Nicole now. She became her vision. But when she was here, she had to operate from this place. So Nicole had to get crystal clear on where is my vision? Where am I headed? What does it look like, feel like, smell like? What is it when I'm there? And she had to then operate her day here as if she was in her vision. That was her vision. That was her vision. So I'm going to ask you, what's your vision? What's your vision? Now, this is a deep exercise that we go really heavy into in Thrive. I help you craft it. So I know I'm doing this really fast forward right now on the workshop, but I want to get you thinking about it. And I just want to give you a moment. And just while they're writing, for my team, just let's not let other people in while they're writing. But I just want to give you just a minute to jot down whether you want to do it on your journal, just to prompt things for later. Or if you want to do it publicly in the comments, you get bonus points because that takes you to the next level. But I just want to give you just a moment here to write down some things to prompt your vision. Okay, and I know that was really short, so I just wanted you to do that so you don't forget when you go back later to start prompting this. And I love that. So like Kalandra, when you said my vision is to look on the outside how I feel inside, I love that. So Kalandra, like I would encourage you after the session just to really sit with that deeper and really ask yourself, like, what does that look like? What does that smell like? What does that feel like? What would I be wearing? How would I know when I've arrived there? That's how you take that even deeper. And if you feel stuck at this at all and you're doing Thrive with me, don't worry, because I really, really push you through this. I promise you that. So, and Jay's on here right now. So Jay knows. This was Jay, by the way. Look at Jay. Jay, look at you. So awesome. He's covering his eyes right now. So awesome. And Jay is an action taker. Like Jay wanted to just do action, and he did the work though. He decided, he did the vision, he did all of it. This is Jay. So Jay, this is very possible for all of you, but it is changing and shifting your thoughts around here. Yes, I love this, Jay. My vision is to maximize my overall health and have a fully toned body. You're there, Jay. You're getting there. You're already just crushing. You're crushing. So vision, everyone. So later on, you want to sit with that more. And just to give you just another example, that's not even weight loss related, but if we all decided right now we were going on vacation somewhere, I don't know, somebody type in the comments, where do you want to go? Pick a place. Whoever types first, I'm going to pick that place to tell you my story here. Somebody just write a place. Italy. Okay. Bali. Oh, these are good. Okay. Let's see where else. Aruba, Greece. Ooh. Okay. Where do we want to go in the United States? Let's put that first. Let's pick a place. Where do we want to go in the United States? Does anyone want to go anywhere in the United States? Write that down so I can pick a place for my example here. Hawaii. Okay. Florida. Okay. We'll go with Florida. Okay. We've all decided we're going to Florida. We've all decided we're going to Florida, and we're going to have a fabulous retreat there. And I've taken care of everything for you. So your expenses are going to be covered however you choose to travel there. You got babysitters for your kids, whatever, like your husband, your spouse, they know, your boss is cool with it. Your employees are cool. Like all things are taken care of. We all are very clear. We're going to Florida. We're going to drink mimosas on the beach, and we're going to be on white sand, and it's going to be pretty warm water, and we're going to have so much fun. And we're so clear that we're going there, right? Everyone have the vision. Like we're there. Picture yourself like you're feeling amazing and you're on the beach and we're all hanging out together. Everything's taken care of. Okay. That's the vision. Now, how we get there, that might vary. Some of you might get there tomorrow. Some of you might get there next week. Some of you might get there in a month. Maybe we're meeting in a month, but some of you are going to go early. Some of you might drive there. Some of you might fly there. Some of you might walk there. Some of you might Uber there. Some of you might have to take a boat there. But we're all going to get there because we're clear on our vision. It's the same thing with our bodies, but we're skipping that. We're skipping it. You have to do the work to get clear on your vision before you can create the results there. I know my nutrition method inside and out. I know my workout method. They crush. My workout, my nutrition method, second to none. I'll say it really arrogantly because I know that it is. It is great. However, it will not work on anyone unless they've gotten really clear on their decision and their vision. So I stay there first. The reason plans have not worked for you, this is a big reason. You want to make sure before you ever do another program, plan, coaching, that you make sure the person that created the program, they understand this. If they do not understand it, you're wasting your time and your money. Because if they're coaching you into your current circumstance, they are not a solid coach. I'm sorry. A solid coach coaches you into your potential. They coach you into your future best version of you. They talk to that person. That's what you want to look for. Be very vision focused. I know you have that worksheet. So just a couple quick repeats on the takeaways on vision really quick. Vision is focused on where you're headed, not where you are now. It's focusing on possibility and potential, not circumstance. Okay. Possibility, not problem. Future self. It's future thinking. That's vision. That's vision. Okay. There's so much more in the mindset stuff, but I'm gonna get to the next concept. If you're liking this mindset stuff, by the way, that's what Thrive, 80% of Thrive is, by the way. 80% of Total Body Thrive is that powerful conversation. Because if I can change your thoughts, you become a new person. You see, we can become an entirely different person in literally in 8 weeks by changing your thoughts, actions, and habits. Your thoughts, actions, and habits, not just actions, habits. If I can help you change your thoughts, actions, and habits in 8 weeks, you can be an entirely different person. So that's where I spend time facilitating. Now, I know there's a lot of stuff popping up in your head, like, this is cool, I like it, but you still have like those things like the injury or the diagnosis or the genetics or whatever. I call those, just by the way, I call them false assumed truths. What that means is when people hear me say I kill fat for a living, that stands for false assumed truths. False assumed truths are the beliefs that are holding you back from becoming your best potential self. It doesn't mean they're not true. A false assumed truth can be real. You can have a real diagnosis. You can have a real bitter spouse. You can have a real, deadly pantry with all kinds of junk food. You can have a real problem. Those are real, but the meaning we put on them are called false assumed truths because they are not necessarily having to be a reality. So we spend a lot of time in Thrive killing those false assumed truths because I have a solution for all those things. And we have to get rid of those false assumed truths in order to move forward. Are we ready for concept 3? Are we ready for concept 3? Okay. Concept 3 is action. It's action. Now I want to talk about action because action is of course critical, because if you keep doing the same things you've always done, you're going to keep getting the results you've always gotten. Let me say that again. This is really important here. If you keep doing the same things you've already done, you're going to keep getting the same results you've already gotten, which means you keep just doing more of the same nutrition you've always done or more of the workout you've always done, and you're wondering why you're not getting results. It's because you're doing the same thing, expecting a different result, and that's not going to happen. You see, everything you've learned up until right now, right here today, while you're here on this session with me, everything you've learned is amazing, but it got you to right here, right now. If you want different results, you have to learn different information. You have to take different action steps, because otherwise we're just doing more of the same and we're repeating a pattern and we get that same result again. So this is really important. Now, action feels hard when we're not operating from decision or vision. You have to do them all together. When you've actually decided and you've absolutely added in your vision, action gets a lot easier. Jay, is that not true? When you're clear on, just wave your hand if that's true. Yeah, he knows. When you've absolutely gotten to decision and vision first, the action part's easy. It's fun. It becomes like this drive with you. You're excited. I hear motivational speakers all the time say things like, you've got to take massive action. I think that's baloney. No, you have to take massive thought changes. You have to take radical thought changes. You have to get really radically obsessed with your decision and your vision. And then you take one little action step forward at a time and you get massive radical results. That's how it works. I don't agree with just take massive action. Why? Because for some people that works. Great. Some people have no issue taking massive action, but most of us, that doesn't work for us. So we've got to have massive change in our thoughts and our decisions and our vision. And then we take one step forward at a time and we create great change. Another point on action is when you do an action, I'm going to always suggest follow a proven method. Never just try to do it on your own. Why? Why try to do things on your own? Find someone that's already done it, who's mastered it, and learn what they did and follow that plan. That's the best way to get proven results. When we just do guesswork, we don't get those results. Another thought on action, and I'm going to give you a couple examples of action, by the way, because I want you to hit the ground running today with those things. But another point on action is if and when you hire a coach or a program, you always want to make sure that that coach speaks not just into action, but they speak into massive interruptions with you to create possibility, and they work with you as your future self. Really important. If they just harp on you about do more of this, do less of that, that won't work because they're not speaking to your future self who's already arrived at those things. All right, I'm going to give you a few examples of action. What does that look like after those things are in place? So one example of action, and this is something I teach on Total Body Thrive, by the way, is to focus on eating unprocessed foods. So notice I didn't say don't eat these things. I'm saying focus on eating real, natural, unprocessed foods. And the action I tell people to do with it is focus on adding in so many of those that there's less room for the not so amazing foods. So an example of an action is focus on adding in more good foods than focusing on not great foods. Why do I do that? Because when I tell someone all the things they can't have and we start focusing on deprivation, that doesn't create results. That creates us feeling like a loser and failure. I know, I've been there. Because the more you think I can't have this thing, the more you want that thing. So what I'm going to do is tell people to have freedom. And I'm going to say, this is what I want you to follow. This is the stuff I want you to have. Add in more of that. And that's going to make less room for the not so amazing. And then you have wins every day. So I want to show you Allison, and I'm going to share how this worked because this is a really cool story. It's one of my favorite stories. Okay, so this is my friend Allison. And when I met her, she was the prime example of everything's working in my life except my weight. Allison was so successful in so many areas. In fact, she is a money coach. She teaches profit acceleration. She's a master at sales and marketing. She's a genius. She had a tech company that she sold. She's really wicked smart. She's brilliant. She's achieved so much in her life. She has lots of friends, great things in her life. But the one thing that was not working for Allison was her weight. It was not working for her weight. And because her weight was not working for her, this was a big problem in her life. Not only, and she'll tell you now that I saved her life. She thinks that I saved her life. I tell her she saved her own life. She let me facilitate, which is amazing. But her whole life changed because she knew that this was going to kill her. She was heavy. She was not healthy here. And even though other areas of her life are working, this was embarrassing to her. And she was scared. And she wanted to change. And just like you, she's tried everything. She even had gastric bypass surgery, which did not work for her. She gained it all back. So Allison, when she met with me, I talked to her about this method, and she had no problem deciding, and she had no problem getting in her vision when we talked. She understood because she did vision work for everything else in her life. So we really spent some time on her vision. And then we got to the action. And Allison, with the action, was really caught on the fact that she loved, get it? Guess, get what she loved. Cheez-Its. She loved Cheez-Its. She's like, I can't give up my Cheez-Its. Natalie, I'll do anything, but not my Cheez-Its. Okay, got it. She wanted her Cheez-Its. And she described her Cheez-Its, the vision of them, the way that I would think I would describe wanting a new car. They're crisp and salty, and they've got this, it was funny. She was loved these Cheez-Its. Okay, got it. Allison, let's not even talk about not having Cheez-Its right now. What I want you to do is we're going to stay focused on that decision. We're going to stay focused on that vision. I'm going to teach you a super simple eating plan that's focused on natural, real, yummy foods that are going to help you thrive. Okay. I'm going to teach you that. And your goal every day is to get those foods in. Can you do that? Yes, I can. Okay. If you get those foods in and you focus on addition, because it's going to be really yummy food that I'm going to have you doing. If you're still hungry or you still want them, you can have your Cheez-Its. I gave her the freedom. There was no failure. Okay. Look at her now. And she just told me when she saw I was sharing this picture, she said, I got to send you a new one because I'm down another 15 pounds. She's released 75 pounds, not having to give up Cheez-Its. Focusing on decision, vision, and action. This is Allison now. Incredible. Incredible. Decision, vision, action. Another example of action I'm going to talk about for a second is in the workout space. So a lot of people will tell you got to do these like crazy hardcore workouts. No, you don't. We focus on progression and intensity. Progression and intensity. Intensity for you means a different thing than intensity for an Olympic athlete. Intensity just means you're challenging yourself a little bit more. So I teach that method in a short burst of things that help people have a win every day. If I tell someone you got to work out an hour a day, heck no, most people don't have an hour a day to work out. No, I'm going to tell you, you could do things 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. Little changes over time change and make big results. It's an example of some of the action. So action is important. Remember that. But it's not as important as those other things. And actions should feel very uplifting, very rewarding. They should feel like you are winning every single day. That is my whole focus of Total Body Thrive, by the way. Can people have a win every single day? Because I'm tired of people feeling like they're failing and like they're in self-beat up all the time. It's just not true. You can have a win every single day and hit your results. At the beginning of the session, I shared that I'm going to share 3 concepts and teach those. And then I'm going to share with you an opportunity about Total Body Thrive. Some of you are a candidate, some of you are not a candidate. I'm going to do that now. I'm going to share that with you. I want you to stay on because after I share that, I'm going to take all questions and I will stay on as long as needed. Your questions can be about Thrive or what I taught today, but it can also be your own individual coaching. So you have questions about nutrition, fat loss, workouts, your pain. I want to stay on and coach you right now while we're live. So I want you to stay on for that if you've got questions. So start thinking if you have questions. But I want to tie all this together for you right now. I promised you at the beginning I was going to invite you to this opportunity, and I'm going to do that right now, but I'm going to show you something first. Okay. Does anyone know what cataracts are? Anyone have cataract surgery or know someone who has cataract surgery like this? My mom had cataract surgery last year, and she shared this example with me. I said, what was it like to have cataracts removed? And she said, it's kind of interesting. Like everything before I had my cataracts removed just kind of looked a little yellow and dingy. And she said, and then I had them removed. I didn't even really know that I needed them removed. My doctor told me I needed them removed. I got my cataracts removed and all of a sudden everything was like crystal clear. The trees were really green again. The sky was really blue. She was looking through everything through a new filter. Okay. When you do Total Body Thrive with me, it's like cataract surgery because I'm going to change your filter around life. You're going to start looking at everything through possibility and potential, not problem or circumstance. So it's kind of like cataract surgery without the anesthesia or having to have an actual surgery. We change your filter on life, and that's what gets you the results. That's what does it. And I want to show you this. So before I was Natalie Jill Online, who's on the cover of lots of magazines, even Women's World, and best-selling author of several books. Before that was me in my 40s, in my later 40s, because I'm 50 now. This was me 14 years ago. Now, yes, I was pregnant. I just had a baby. It's my daughter, Penelope. And she cringes when I show this picture because she's 14 now. And now she thinks everything I do is cringy. That's her word. Mom, that's cringy. But she was cute. Okay. So this is my daughter. It was my dog Bean. Some of you remember I used to put Bean in my videos. But before I was this Natalie, I was this Natalie. And this was not such a big deal to some of you because you're like, well, you just had a baby. Okay, got it. But let me just explain. I was 5'2". I gained 60 pounds when I was pregnant. And I didn't gain 60 pounds because of hormones and being pregnant. I gained it because I was depressed. Why was I depressed? Because I was going through a divorce, because I was losing my home, because I had to take a voluntary job devotion because I was going to be a single mom, because I had postpartum depression. I had a lot going on. My daughter weighed 6 pounds. And I remember asking the doctor when she delivered her, does the placenta weigh 54 pounds? Because I don't know where the other weight came from. Anyways, this was my time in my life where I had lost my way. But I was super happy that I had a baby, but that was honestly the only thing I was happy about, that I had this new daughter. And my life changed one day because it was 4 months after I had her and I hadn't dropped any of the weight other than the basically 10 pounds leaving the hospital. And I was depressed and sad. And the reason I share that is not because of the weight I gained, but because of how I felt at that moment. And I didn't know what my future was going to look like. At the time, I was in my mid-30s. And I remember feeling when I would wake up in the morning, like I just didn't even want to get out of bed. And I knew I had to. I knew I had a daughter, but I just started feeling like this overwhelming, like, what am I even living for? Like, what's my purpose here? What am I doing? And what value am I adding? I just felt like a Debbie Downer all the time. And I would go look in my closet and nothing lit me up to wear. I just wanted to like hide my body and just be I didn't want to, I wasn't fun to be around. I was nothing. But I was walking my daughter and my two dogs. I had two labs at the time, Bean and Callie. And I was walking Penelope and Bean and Callie with the stroller, and I'm my big sweats. And I saw a glimpse of myself in those windows that have a mirror reflection. And I remember looking at myself, and I had this like moment with myself. And it was just a moment. I looked at myself and I was like, is this all there is? Is this what happens? Like, you just have a baby and gain weight and life just starts going downhill. I just had this like conversation with myself. And I thought, well, that's really depressing. What's the point? I remember just having that moment. I walked home and I was feeling sad. I put my daughter down for a nap and I popped on the TV, and I popped on Oprah, my favorite person. And she was talking about The Secret. And she had Lisa Nichols on. I love Lisa Nichols. And it was the first time I'd ever seen her. And she was speaking about vision and possibility. And something changed in me right then. A light bulb moment turned on. And I remember grabbing a bunch of magazines and pulling out pictures of anything that gave me possibility and hope. And I put them on this vision board. It was fit girls. It was a happy couple. It was a happy mom and daughter. It was a beach. And for a moment out of my sadness, I had a glimpse of what I hope I gave you earlier today. This glimpse of possibility. And I noticed something changed in me. A spark went off, and I was like, oh, if I could operate from that place every day, my whole life can change. And I had that moment. So I started looking at that vision board, and every single day I'd ask myself, okay, if I was that girl living in the board, if I was that girl, what decisions would I make today? I started asking myself questions from my future self. What I'm going to share with you right now is the result of that conversation. Because I have that method I walked myself through, and I then continued to walk 250,000 people through this method. It's built up on every book I've ever released to create Total Body Thrive. Total Body Thrive is an epic 8-week program. It's an 8-week transformational live coaching program with me. What does that mean? What that means is it's not a PDF or a book or a download that you just get and you're on your own. Nothing like that. You get access to over 100 videos from me in bite-sized chunks, like the information you got today, where I teach you deep. So it's a knowing to you how to operate from your future self and how to make the changes with your nutrition and your actions so you can get radical results in 8 weeks. That's what the program is. In addition to that, there's a live weekly coaching Zoom session with me. So how much access do you have with me? A lot of it, because you have these videos every day from me. You've got PDF downloads that support your meal planning, all of those things. You've got coaches that are trained by me in the program to help you. And you have me live every week on Zoom, every week, where I'm teaching in bite-sized chunks like this. And I'm staying on and answering all questions and coaching you so you get those radical results. So what happens if you're in? And I'm going to have my team, by the way, put the link for Total Body Thrive right now because it starts Monday and we're almost full. So I want to make sure you jump on now if you are thinking about this, because this is starting Monday. It's like literally starting right now. And make a decision from your future self. Like if you know you could get the results I'm talking about, like these pictures I shared with you, like my clients, like Allison, like Nicole, like Jay, like Jim, then make the decision to do this. Once you are in, like once you click that link right there and you do it. And she's putting a link for 2 things right there. She's putting one, the order form, like you just know I'm in. I don't need any more information. Like I'm ready to go. I'm ready to sprint. If you want more information though, click on the second link. It's not clickable, Liana. You might want to check it, put it again, the Thrive. The second link just tells you more about the program. But what happens is once you're in, you're like, I'm in, I'm doing this. The first thing it's going to ask you is a bunch of questions. There's an intake form. And I want you to take some time today or tomorrow and really fill out that intake form, because this is my conversation with you. And I want to understand a lot more about you, particularly like what's going on with you. What is your vision? What are you working for? What have you struggled with? I want to understand more about you so I can best customize and help you through this program. So the intake form is the first thing. Then you're going to have access to a private Facebook group. Do you have to participate in it? No. Should you want to? Yes. Why not? Why not want to be in a great accountable community with some people that are up-leveling their lives that want to help support you? This group could be your new best friends. your new job connections, your new customers, but also your accountability partner in transformation. So it's an epic experience to be with that. Do you have to be on the live calls with me? You don't have to, but will you want to be? Yes, because we're going to have sessions like this every week where I'm coaching you directly. What happens if you can't attend the calls? You don't have to worry. We always give you, we're going to give you ahead of time something new this time. We're going to have a list of all the different dates of calls and times. There's 2 calls a week, by the way. One with me, one with one of my coaches, Liana, who's amazing. She's going to help with the nutrition. I'm going to help with the overall stuff. So you've got these calls, but we always ask for questions ahead of time and we always record them for you. So no issue if you can't attend a call. Will you get results? Yes. Everyone gets results on Total Body Thrive, so much so that I guarantee it. And you heard me right. Basically, when you are in Thrive, if you show up fully, meaning you participate in the group, in the program, you do the assignments, you work in the journal that we give you an awesome journal to go along to aid you in results, and you show up on the calls, if you don't get results, I do not deserve to get paid. So there's an action taker's guarantee, meaning you show up, you do all that, you don't get results, we would give you back your money. You have me on record, it's recording right now. You've got this there and you've got it on the sales page. So you know. So what's in Thrive when you get it? So you get a login, you'll have the site, you'll have the intake form, you've got the group, you've got the Zoom, and I've got so many bonuses. I don't even want to name them all because I don't want you to feel like, there's too much stuff. We give it to you in bite-sized chunks, but you'll have a cravings guide. You've got a success journal. You've got follow along workouts. You could do at home anywhere on your own time. Great stuff in here. Weekly live coaching sessions, 2 of them. You also get a weekly text from me, by the way, because I'm going to stay in your ear because you're accountable to me during this. So you're going to have a little text from me every Saturday just to make sure you're on track and to help keep you going. Okay. I realize that some of you are running and you're in. Yes. And I love it. I see some names joining. Some of you are a heck yes. And I want you to go and do that and be in. If you're not a heck yes right now, but you're kind of thinking about being a heck yes, definitely ask me your questions because I want to help you. And I do want to share that this is not a now or never situation. This is a now or whenever you are ready situation. I don't know when I'm having the next Thrive. That is true. This is for you now if you're ready to sprint with me and get radical results. I want the people that are a heck yes. I do not want the people that are the scared yes. So if you're like a heck yes, I'm in, let's do this. That's who I want to run with right now and make this happen. Okay. So I'm going to open up to questions. And then I've got a little video I'm going to play for you in a little bit. That's going to also help, but I want to first take questions and my team is not letting anybody else in the room right now. But you can ask your questions either by putting them in the comments or I'm going to put it on whole view so I can see all of you. You can raise your hand if you're willing to come on with me. I want to coach you on questions about Thrive, about anything I taught, any questions you have. I am here for you right now. So please ask away. Go ahead and raise your hand. And if you're hesitant to ask, no, somebody else probably has your same question. So please ask it. Let's see. And then Liana, I want your support on comments if there's no hands up right now. I don't see any hands up yet. I know you all have questions. Come on, don't be shy. Let's see. Liana, any questions?
Yes, Natalie, there is a question from Celeste. She doesn't need to lose weight. Will this diet help with pain?
Oh my gosh, I love that story. Okay. So I love that question. I said story because it's so in my head. So I am the pain queen. Let me just explain this. It's actually kind of embarrassing, but I'm just going to share with you anyway. So the last 2 years, I had 4 surgeries. 4. Like who has 4 surgeries in 2 years from injuries? First, I ruptured a disc in my lower back. These are not workout related, by the way, but I ruptured a disc in my lower back. This is what it looked like. Those of you who have had an MRI, that was look at that. That's my disc. It's not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be like in a whole different place, like in here, but it's there. So I ruptured a disc and got foot drop and leg. No, I lost use of my right leg. That happened first. Okay. So I had emergency surgery, not to fuse my disc, but just to remove the piece that leaked out. Okay. I had that first. Just when I recovered from that, I tore my bicep. True story. Tore my bicep on the distal, needed another surgery. Okay. It was embarrassing to me. Then when I got done with my bicep tear, it was all fixed. I broke my foot and I had to wear a boot. And when I took the boot off, I then tripped and I broke my toe. So I have another surgery. And then I just now had to repair the toe because the first surgery I had went bad. So I just 4 weeks ago had a toe surgery to repair it. So long story short, I know pain. I know level 10 pain. That bicep tear is the worst thing I've ever experienced in my life. I know it. And I know how to remedy pain. I definitely know. I believe things happen for us in life, not to us. And I know that those injuries happen for me to be able to share with you what I've learned, especially lower back pain. If you're dealing with that, I am your girl because I know how to eat to combat inflammation. I'm going to help you with that. I know the movements that help correct that and take that out of the equation. And I know how to break the pain cycle. So that is what I do teach in Thrive as well. Most people that join my program have some level of pain because just as we age in our 40s and our 50s, we start to have those things creep up. So yes, this will change things for you if you are dealing with pain. Okay, let's see. Can you talk more about the food and eating? Sure. What do you want to know, Carolyn? Let me know any questions you have. But basically, I teach unprocessed, natural, real food eating. So if it once grew, it's good for us. So I'm going to go deep into why that works for us, why vegetables, why fruits are healthy for us. Yes, you can eat fruit on my plan. Yes, you can. I talk about what happens when we eat grains, dairy, and sugar. I don't take it out of your diet. I don't tell you can't have it, but I'm going to teach you what happens when we add those in so you can make decisions. I'm going to teach you about fats. We definitely eat fat on the plans. We are not counting calories. We are not counting calories. We are eating proteins, carbs, and fats. We're not giving up whole food groups, but we're going to be eating natural, real food. So ask me if you need more of a deep answer on that. Do you have to cook recipes? Do you have to? No, we actually have 3 meal plan options when you join. 3 that we're going to go over all that with you. But 2 of them are like really laid out for you where you can just follow like this recipe, this meal. But some people don't like to cook. They don't have time. They don't whatever. So we have something called a build a meal guide where we teach you how to build your own meal based on restaurants, friends' houses, your own pantry, whatever, your own fridge. So you don't have to cook and plan crazy like that because there's options there. Let's see. What else? I have trouble staying focused and motivated. How can I do that? Deborah, that goes back to decision and vision. So getting really into your decision and vision. Okay. That's the first step there. The second tip is accountability. So something like Thrive, being accountable to a group because then we're with you to support you and help you. That's how you get motivated. And then something I teach in Thrive is how to break through those false assumed truths and something I call a driving core motivator. We spend a lot of time on something I teach as a driving core motivator. And when we nail that, in fact, most of the coaching I do in Thrive is on driving core motivator and how to find yours. Because once you find that, that becomes your secret weapon against not feeling motivated, against not having willpower. That's how that works. Rita, question. I see you. Are you open to coming on? Whoops, I just muted you by mistake. I didn't mean to. You have to unmute again. Sorry.
Okay, so I'm already in Thrive.
Yes.
So I've been in the Kajabi site and playing around with some of the workouts. So I'm not really a beginner. I'm more intermediate, but I have to slow it down so I can really concentrate on my form.
Okay.
Is there a way we could get maybe a PDF of the workout so we could do it at our own pace?
So we have different versions of and I'll talk to you about this in Thrive separately. So we can, of those DVD follow along workouts, I don't have a work along, but what you can do is, first of all, what I do recommend, since you said I'm starting with intermediate, I would still start with the beginner just to learn the form. Even that beginner workout is really good for activation and teaching you form. I still get a workout from the beginner one. So I would say first step, go back, do the beginner, the chair workout I have, just so I really talk through form there. And then when you do the intermediates, those will make more sense. And you could even just write down some of the workouts and then just do those individual and I'll help. We have others that can be printable that we can show you in there, but those in itself are not like in a book form type of thing.
Okay.
I hope that helps. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. Okay. Let's see more questions.
Natalie, there's a lot of questions I've been writing down. Do you want me to read?
Yeah, that would be amazing.
This is a really good one. iPhone. I don't know her name, but she doesn't enjoy cooking. How does she eat when she doesn't enjoy cooking very much? And I can't wait to work with her on one of my calls.
Yes. Okay. So a couple things. One, you're going to follow the build a meal guide if you go into Thrive, because we teach you how to build a meal so you don't have to cook. Like you could literally just stock some specific foods we're going to teach you in your fridge and throw it together in 2 minutes, not even a minute. And Liana does a special call every week to go over meal planning and help with that as well. And she teaches exactly how she meal plans and preps with not toddlers anymore, but 2 little kids, 2 young kids, and working full time. So yes, we have lots of support with that in Thrive. What was the next question, Liana?
The next question is from Jennifer. She wants to know, does the program include both cardio and weights or primarily weights?
Yes. Okay. So the program, there is no workout mandatory on Thrive. I want to first say that everything is based first on the mindset stuff that we teach, changing your state, and then the nutrition. Those are the most important parts. The workouts are completely optional and bonuses. And the workouts are follow along, body weight, no weights, and you could do them at home in your own space. Okay. There is no cardio required on this plan, and I'll explain more in Thrive, but I'm not a fan of cardio for fat loss. I'm not against cardio. I think cardio is amazing, but it also can just make us more hungry and change our metabolism. I'll explain a lot more in detail on Thrive. So I teach cardio for an enjoyment. Like if you enjoy it, it's amazing for a lot of reasons, for our heart, for all those things, but it is not mandatory for the fat loss aspect. So, and there's no weights required on Thrive either. Any more questions?
There was a question earlier from Andrea who wanted to know about cheese. Is it allowed on the plan? And if it is, how can she prevent from going overboard?
Yes. Okay. It is allowed on the plan. We have different plan options. One of them is dairy and grain free. One of them is not dairy and grain free. So if you're doing plan 1, you can have cheese, and we teach you the categories of cheese, like how to count it as a fat, and we have portions. And because of the way that we do portions and balanced foods, we stop your cravings so you don't go overboard on it. So you have nothing to worry about it there too. I see, how much does it cost to join in 2 months, and what happens after the 8 weeks? Okay. It's a one-time fee, Saran. So you pay for Thrive and you're in. That's it. You're in for the 8 weeks. It's not a recurring charge unless you do a payment plan. There's a payment plan option to break down the costs, but there's not a recurring cost after it. After Thrive is done, we'll invite people into the next level program if you want it, but you don't have to do that. And you have Thrive for the life of the program. So you can constantly go back and redo it on your own pace. So, yes. And then Deborah and Saran, if you just go to totalbodythrive.com, Liana actually put the link in here, you can see the exact thing. And I understand the strict budget, but I want everyone to think about this question right now. Okay. If you knew you were going to get results and step into your vision, and you knew that was going to happen, you were going to operate and get there, what would that do for your life? How much would that save you on other things? How much would that up level you in your careers? How much confidence would that give you for your social life, for your real life? If you follow Thrive and you do it, you show up fully and do it, and you don't get results, you'll get your money back. So you literally have nothing to lose but the weight on this. Why is it the price that I put there? I'll tell you why. Because I price things very strategically. I price it because things are an investment in yourself. You have to pay a certain amount to pay attention. And I know this. I just invested the highest amount I've ever invested in my life in a coach for me, by the way. And it scared the heck out of me. But I did it because I knew that's what I was going to have to do to pay attention. I give things out for free all the time. YouTube videos, social media stuff. I've written books. I have so much stuff for free. And you know what? People don't pay attention and do them. They just don't. So there has to be a little bit of a pain point for people to pay attention and get results. So if you make the decision from that place of power, things will change, because you will get results on Thrive if you show up fully. I'm sure, like Jay, who's on the call right now, who had results. Jay, nobody ever just has like extra money sitting around. Like, I just want to throw some money there, right? So, but it's like, but if he knew he was going to get here, which he did because he was his vision, it made sense for him. So it's not that anyone just has extra money just sitting around. It's that. Oh, Jay said, explain the fat, protein, and carb plates for meals. I'll explain that more in the program, Jay. I don't want to overwhelm people right now, but it is super easy the way that I teach how it does. When is Facebook site going live for the session starting Monday? Okay, so Robin, the Facebook group starts tomorrow. We start opening it up and we'll let people in, I believe. Is right, Liana? Tomorrow we start opening it up. Okay. The content is being released this weekend in Thrive. So you'll start. The first live call for Thrive is not till Thursday. There's so much stuff that's happening in the program itself that will keep you busy until then. So it's not a live session you have to attend on Monday. You're going to have that content right there for you. And our first live session is Thursday. And it'll be on Zoom. Okay. Any more questions, Liana? And then I'm going to show that video next after this next question, Rita, and then we're going to come back to questions. You're muted, Liana. Sorry.
I know. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Kalandra has a really good question. She's not in a place that she can ask it directly.
Okay.
So I told her I'd ask for her. Okay. She's hypothyroid, has had a hysterectomy. Both have added weight gain. She seems to lose weight, gain it back. Mm-hmm. She's managed to keep off 15 to 20 pounds, she said, but it is hard. Yes. All capitals. Yes. She's currently doing low carb keto and it's helping with cravings, and she's lost inches. She's no problem working out, but she wants to know how Thrive will help her further.
Yes. Yeah. So great. I love your question. You are my girl. You are my person. I've had so many people that could have written that exact same concern at the beginning. So all of that, even though it's true, it's very true. They're what I call false assumed truths. Meaning, if in the way you know something's a false assumed truth is if there's anyone else in the world that has that same diagnosis, that same problem that broke through it, then it's possible for you too. So the answer to your question, what's going to change is if you come into Thrive with an open mind. You have to come in with an open mind, and you really step into these exercises that I'm going to teach you, especially the mindset stuff initially. Everything will change for you, because just like the cataract example, you're going to start looking at things through a different filter. And I'm not going to have you do keto, and I'm not going to have you doing intermittent fasting or any of that. You can do that if you want on my plan. You totally can, but it's not needed. What I'm going to teach you through the filter that I'm going to change, breaking through those false assumed truths, will change everything for you. So you're not the first with that exact circumstance. I've had many. In fact, I had a female probably 3 programs ago. She came in and she said, I just had a hysterectomy. My doctor told me I was going to gain 20 pounds. I gained 20 pounds. Is it impossible? Nothing's working for me. And everything changed when we broke that lens and we changed that false assumed truth. And she not only lost that 20 pounds, she released 10 more. She was down 30 pounds. So yes, absolutely can help you with this. Rita, are you ready I want to share a video with you guys. This is from some past members of Thrive that are answering some of these questions in their own words. And I just want you to hear it. I'm going to play that video, and then I'm going to come back after that video to more questions, because I see there's more questions coming, and this will give Liana a chance to pull a lot of these questions too.
My name is Lisa. I am 53 years old. I'm from the Portland, Oregon area, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about what I experienced. And I'm having a little bit of a celebration because I've spotted my collarbone. Woo! I have not seen that in how long? For me, I averaged about a pound of weight loss a week. I'm continuing to lose. But more importantly, it was like 9 inches I had lost.
Hi, everyone. My name's Anita Collier, and I'm from Plainfield, Indiana, and I'm 53 years old. Ended up losing 20 pounds. Seemed like easy, just effortless.
Patty Karabakshian. I lost about 20 pounds.
Hi, my name is Lisa. I'm 53 years old and from Plainfield, Illinois. I lost 16 pounds in 5 months. I still have a little bit more to go, but I'm in great shape. I'm much happier, a lot more energy.
Since I started the plan 6 weeks ago, I've lost 20 pounds. I love my body right now, and I'm going to love it 30 pounds lighter. I love it. And that's, that is the biggest change that I've seen. It is possible to lose the weight forever and feel great and accomplish your goals.
My name is Dina. I live in Utica, New York. I'm 42 years old. Since I joined, I'm 12 pounds lighter. I'm motivated. I have healthier habits.
My name is Lori Bushnell. I've lost 20 pounds so far, and I feel so good.
My name is Corey Boney. I live in Crystal River, Florida. I have faced many health challenges my entire life. So I got to the point where I was 100 pounds overweight. My marriage fell apart. I had 2 kids, and that impacted my life, my stamina, my confidence, my emotional well-being.
Was in the same boat that many people have probably found themselves in, where you look at your closet and you realize that the clothes that used to fit, it's not only that they don't fit right, they just don't fit anymore. You cannot zip them up, you can't button them up.
Constant food cravings, constantly being hungry. And I came to the point where I didn't enjoy my life anymore. Imagine you are being hungry 24/7.
I was 177 pounds. I was depressed. I had the worst self-image of myself. I have done Atkins, I've done paleo, I've done literally everything, and I never found it sustainable for more than 2 weeks. When I was at my heaviest, I felt it in my joints. I felt it in my breathing and in my
I really wanted to shed some fat.
3 years ago, I had to adjust to a life with autism as I raised my 8-year-old autistic grandson. I became a very depressed person. I began gaining weight from the stress eating. And on top of that, I was going into menopause. I'm hypothyroid. I have low blood pressure. So losing weight was a real battle, and I was getting no support from my doctors. They were all telling me, you're over 50. This is just something you have to deal with.
I've been fighting a hypothyroidism now for the last 2 years. In October, my mother-in-law that lived with us for 7 years had passed away. And then in November, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, and with all these stresses, and I knew that I was just not doing good with all the stress coming into my life. And that's what I do when I'm stressed. I turn to food, and not good food for that matter. So
I needed a change, and I needed it right away.
You know, at my age, it seems to be harder to drop the fat. You're going through menopause. You have all these issues in the way. Her program really proved to work. She never disappoints. If you follow what she says, it truly does work.
My God, Nat, I just finished an amazing hill. And I had to just record a beautiful love note for you, because I was telling my nephew, I'm like, it's so hard to believe that we're 15 months later. I'm 56.5 pounds released because of your Total Body Thrive. And I mean, I know I'm one of thousands of women that you've touched, moved, and inspired. I just have to tell you, thank you. My entire life is different. My energy is different. My body is different. And those of us in our 40s, 50s, and beyond, we start believing something that's not true, which is that we can't change, that we can't transform. And your program, I'm just so grateful that you're my friend and that you created this and that I was a part of it.
she gives you all the tools, the solutions. You don't feel bloated. You don't feel tired. You have energy.
I learned step by step how my body works, how it reacts to food that I put in it, and how I can change my diet and balance my meals without counting calories to get where I want to be.
I think the most important thing I learned was just the supplements, what I was doing right, what I was doing wrong, and just to re-educate myself on what the body needs, what it needs to be stronger. And just her advice has just been amazing to me.
It changed my perspective on life. It changed my perspective on nutrition, on exercise. I became emotionally stronger, physically stronger.
Something's working. The energy level that I didn't have, I struggled just to get out of bed. You know, my husband every day says how good I look, and he's proud of me as well as my kids.
I was on vacation last week, and first time in a long time, I felt great walking on the beach in a swimsuit.
I'm back in the clothes that were in my closet. It's like going shopping in my own closet. It's incredible.
I was able to change my mindset, get rid of all the negative self-talk that I had that was holding me back.
I overcame my problem. I'm no longer hungry.
I cannot stress enough how this is a program unlike anything I've ever seen before.
I could go through the modules when it was convenient for me. I didn't have to make an appointment to go see somebody. The group, the support, you know, you feel like you're bonding with women that you've never met. It's nice to have that.
I noticed the best part was my coworkers at work that were watching what I was eating, which was great food. It wasn't like diet food, and just saying, "You just seem like you're just shredding. It's just coming off so easy." So I think that's the key. It's just an easy program to follow. It makes sense. It's just the way we should eat.
One of the biggest things I've taken away from it is just this peaceful, serene confidence that I have now tackled it once and for all.
Babe.
I know how to eat right. I know how to work out. And the weight issues are it's never going to be an issue anymore for me.
When she says you can lose up to 5 to 7 pounds in a week, it really can happen. It's truly a lifestyle change. It's not a week or 2 or a month diet and then you're done.
It's one of those things that I would do over and over again. I would recommend it to all my friends. If you're on the fence about doing it, believe me, the only thing you're going to lose is weight, fat, and you're going to feel so much better. I have more energy.
I highly recommend this to anybody who's been struggling and trying all the different programs. All you have to do is decide to listen to Natalie and her team. They're inspirational. Natalie is like having a personal trainer, a best friend, a support system, a nutrition specialist, all rolled into one.
I am so happy I invested in myself. If you have any doubts, please stop and think about it. This is the best thing you can do for yourself. You will not regret this.
You know, my kids and I are very, very happy, and I owe that to the help of Natalie Jill.
Trust in this team and you'll get where you want to be. I promise you that.
I could keep going on and on about all the positive things that it did for me, but it's something you have to experience. It's something only you can feel. If you let yourself experience this, you will never regret it. It will change your life.
No one can force you to do it. You have to decide to do it. You have to come to that point. You know, you get sick and tired of it. So do something about it.
Awesome. Thanks, Rita. All right, I want to take some more questions. Let's see. When is the Facebook site going live for the session starting? Facebook group will start on tomorrow. So if you were in Thrive, we let you into that starting tomorrow. Let's see.
Hey, Natalie, I have a question from Jody.
Okay.
She's 53, has Hashimoto's, and she feels her hormones are out of whack. Will the correct food be taught for this? She also struggling with a back injury.
Absolutely. On all of those things. I teach you all of that. And Hashimoto's is not an uncommon thing. Autoimmune is also something I'm very familiar with. I didn't mention that. Along with my injuries, I'm also somebody who has autoimmune. The reason I love false assumed truths and speaking into that is I literally have every excuse in the book I could give people. I have an autoimmune. I had the 4 injuries. I'm 50 years old. I'm a mom. I have everything in my family. Cancer. My dad died at 49. He was younger than me of a heart attack. And I don't mean to say that in light, but I literally have genetics. My grandparents were obese. I have all the things working against me. And that's why I had to actually kill false assumed truths with myself. So this girl here didn't stay this way. My vision of me now at 50 had to become my vision here. So yes, autoimmune, Hashimoto's, all of that. That is how I teach. That is the eating I teach. And in fact, if and when you join, when the time is right for you, plan 2 is what I want you following if you've got an autoimmune. And I explain all of that why in the program. And Angie, I see your comment. That's amazing. I think that's great that you're going to do that. Any other questions, Liana?
Yes. Cara wants to know, she has some hip issues. And so are there going to be modifications for her?
Yes. So remember, workouts are not required in here. And they're also divided by sections. So like you could do upper body workouts and not, but I also do teach modifications and everything, but also the way of eating that you're going to learn in here is going to help with pain and inflammation. I can change, by the way, if I don't do anything that I teach, I wake up every morning at probably a level 10 pain with my back. Just being really real. Like if I don't do the stuff I teach, I would stay stuck in the pain cycle. But because of what I do, the exercises I teach physically and the foods that I eat and what I know, I modify and get things down to like a level 2, which is a big, huge difference. In fact, my biggest complaint when I had my foot surgery was that I couldn't do the same exercises I knew for my back, and that was flaring up. So I had to adjust that again. So I'm always thinking, how do we adjust to get us out of the pain cycle? So yes, if you are dealing with pain, you're going to have night and day reactions to what you learn on this program. Liana, more questions?
Somebody DM me and wanted to know about the group size, like how many spots are left and
yes.
how,
we are keeping this group to no more than 150. By the way, we're keeping this small. So there is no more than 150, which that might sound like a large number, but we've done Total Body Thrives in the past before. We've had 250, we've had 500 people. We've decided that a smaller group is best to help people get results. So the reason the price is where it is too is for that reason. We want to keep these groups small. So there's no more than 150 new people that come through Thrive in here. Any more questions from anyone? Raise your hand if I'm missing something that you want to know. Okay, a few final things I just want to share. So like I said earlier, this is not a now or never. This is for you now if you're ready to sprint and have radical results in the next 8 weeks, because that's who I want to run with. If that is not you and you want to be a heck yes, then I encourage you, message my team, ask the questions that you need to know, take the reflection time, decide what you need to do. And if we are full, because we do start Monday, we'll have another one. I don't know when, but we will have another one at some point. So this is for you now. If you're like a heck yes, I'm ready to change. Okay. I do want to just sort of warn you that going about it on your own can absolutely work. However, it probably hasn't worked for you before. So just remember, we have to change things to get different results. So just be mindful of that, that if you know you need that accountability, you know that you need a coach to lift you to that higher level, then this is the thing for you to do. Okay. And the last thing I want to tell you, and first of all, thank you for your time today. I know that I do value your time, and I don't take it lightly that you showed up for yourself today and showed up for this class. So congratulations to you for doing that. The final thing I want to share with you, and again, reach out anytime today on social media or into our support if you've got questions. But the last thing I want to leave you with is, if you don't trust yourself, trust me, because I've got you with this. I've walked through it. I've helped countless people walk through this, and I've got you on this, and I'm going to help you get radical results. And I can't wait to work with so many of you on Thrive. See you soon. Have a good rest of your weekend, everyone. Bye.